Okay, this is just a quick tutorial to show the wine caddy box and the measurements to make your two pieces that you're going to need to put it together. You're going to start with a piece of cardstock, or two pieces of cardstock, because it takes two, one for each side, that's 6.5 by 7.5. On your 6.5 inch side, you're going to score at 2 inches and at 6 inches. Then you're going to turn it, score at 1.5 inches and 5.5 inches. Then go back and score it on the 4-inch line just to that 5.5 inch or that top score line once you've got it back in your scoreboard in this format. Then, just like all the other templates, then cut away the exact same. Once you cut everything away, as you can see there, and then make sure you do the little angled cuts, then you're left with your pieces that look like this. Do make sure you cut that score line away. That's that little section right there where I even have written, cut score line away. That even helps me remember that's not just to cut into it, I have to cut it off. And then you're going to join them together, making sure that you do not cover up that score line that's off of that tab. You want to be just to the outer edge of that score line, so then when you fold all of those scored lines, they're all going to work out evenly. Now, this is the one that I made. And what I did, I just started with the 110-pound white cardstock, and then I went back and I cut patterned paper. Well, this section, which are your sides here, and the little top squares, which are these two, super easy to cut those measurements down. But I wanted to make a piece that would cover this whole section at one time, so it didn't have to be pieced. So what I did was... And I've been doing so much cutting with scissors. My arthritis in my thumb hurts so bad and is so swollen, I can't use my scissors. So I prepped all of this very carefully so I could walk y'all through it. And once this pain goes away, I'll do some more actual demos of working with it. But I wanted to show you how to make the template. It's really super easy. What you want to do is you want to have just this section. Let me pull the pattern back out. Just this section of cardstock, which is a piece of cardstock that measures 4 inches by 6 inches. Then all you need to score into it is, or cut off of it. I do score lines so that I can mark them and then I cut those away, and that gives me my guide. You just want to end up with, where's my one I've already got cut, with this part removed and this part removed, so that you end up with just your piece that's going to layer over that shape. But you want to then cut away 1/16 of an inch from every outer edge. And it's not as hard as it sounds. It's really not. And what I do is, once I've got my piece like this with my lines that I know are going to actually cut off, you can take a ruler and just give yourself a guesstimate of what 1/16 of an inch is. And that's about 1/16 of an inch. So when you cut that from every straight edge all the way around, you're going to remove approximately 1/8 of an inch off of your template guide. Then that's perfect for lining up over your patterned paper and cutting your pattern paper layer out to go right over the cardstock box base. So I did 2 pieces out of this paper so that I could cover each side the same. And then these are just cut down because they are, basically they're 2-inch wide, 4-inch tall strips. So you take away 1/8 of an inch from either one. So it's 3 7/8 inch tall by 1 7/8 inch wide. And you would need 2 pieces because you have 2 sides. These, on this particular box, the little wine caddy, you only need 2 of the short ones. So you just do an 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 square, and then everything lines up and fits. And they all go together the exact same way as the first one that I did, which was the little, where's it at? Let me grab it. The little coffee themed one. And this is the one that I stamped and then put together. And I did the little tag on this part of the box top. And on this one, I did the little tag on the outer side. And this was just cut from it's a cardstock weight, but it just had the pattern on one side. I like using my 110-pound white cardstock, so being able to make the layering templates to add the layers to the sides just makes it, you can do anything and everything out of every pattern paper that there is. So to make the templates, let me move some of this out of the way a minute. I had to get things so that I could reach them this morning because the pain is terrible. And my doctor appointment for my spinal surgery is today, or one of my checkup appointments is today. So I'm actually having to get ready to go to that. This is this little box here. You do the exact same thing. You're going to start with a 4 by 4 inch piece of cardstock. You don't have to worry about the bottom. We're not putting anything on the bottoms. The bottoms are nice, neat, folded up, doing those angled lines. We get a very pretty, more professional looking box than where the cardstock runs over to the edge and then to me just doesn't look as good. But you want to do the same thing, then cut away those 2 sections. This is actually my template that I made and used on this box because I wanted to do one out of black cardstock and use this really pretty patterned paper from this collection. So that was my template. I traced around that pattern paper, cut it out, did it for both sides, and then I just cut the 4 little squares that are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. So when you look at it from the sides, you see the same patterned paper, and then when you look from, well, I guess that would be the ends. So when you look from the sides, you have the same there. So that's just how easy it is to make the template. Now, my first templates I have made out of the same cardstock. I'm actually going back and taking some poster board, which is what this is, and remaking them. So I'm taking my cardstock template, redrawing them on the poster board, and cutting them out just so these will be more durable and will last me longer. That way, in case I nick this little corner up here or this little point, bend it, I don't have to keep straightening it out, and the poster board, to me, just holds up longer, and it's how I've always done it. So the larger box that I showed the other day that I'm going to get some foo-foo from the Dollar Tree store and do a whole different theme besides the coffee, but it was the one that was designed to hold 2 of the to-go cup coffee cups that I got at Dollar General. I don't know if they're all the same sizes or not, but Dollar General's right down the road from my house, so that's where I shop. And so I did the exact same thing, and let me grab this one so that you can see the difference. This one started with the white cardstock base, and then because I was able to create my template to then go back and cut the side pieces, and then the ends, because those squares are all the same size, super easy to do. You just take off a 1/8 of an inch, you know, from your measurement, and you've got it. This was just another small one. This was the one I was going to take to Dollar Tree with me, or actually both of these, to see what all kind of other things fit in them. But you do the template the same way, because these squares are 3 inches. This would be a 6-inch by 6-inch measurement, and then just cut away these 2 pieces, trim off that 1/16 of an inch all around for a total of 1/8 of an inch layering, and then you just use that as your guide and you can cut your pattern papers. So it's just really that easy to do these, and I'm actually working now on a large one that I've got an idea for. I'm going to see if it works before I show it. but I think it will. But somebody had wanted to actually see the 2 wine bottles in there. There they are. And because you've used the 110-pound cardstock, which is stronger, and when this box is folded up, because you've got your 2 short flaps that fold in and your 2 wider ones, you've got 4 layers of cardstock, so you have enough durability to hold the glass bottles from the Barefoot wine. Now the Sutter Home, I started using it last year when I did my little wine favor boxes, because they're plastic and they were lighter weight, and I didn't have to worry about somebody accidentally dropping it and creating a disaster. So I'm actually going to, when I do these to give this year, they'll actually have the Sutter Home wine in them, because the bottles are plastic. The only difference in the bottles is the height. The Sutter Home bottle is just a little bit shorter, but the diameter and everything was the same, because I checked. I have an empty one in the kitchen. So anyway, that's just how easy it is to do those. If y'all need any help, have any questions, just holler at me. And later this week, I've got a couple more things to show that I've been working on. So see y'all then. Bye.